Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. Today we are going to do step 3, which is putting it all together. We're going to take all those pieces from step 1 and step 2 and make our adorable little barrel bag. So I'm going to show you how to do it right now. For this project, you are going to need duct tape, a ruler, work surface, scissors, X-Acto knife, the circles from number 1, the strap from number 1, the stickers from number 1, and the body form from number 2. First thing first, we are going to basically take these sides and roll the bag around the side. What we're going to want to do is create a tiny, tiny, tiny little edge of sticky right along here that our end capper can roll against, basically. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our black tape here, and we are going to make a strip that is all the way from this end to this end. Now, as I'm looking at this, my first time when I created this, this is a little bit smaller than I would like it to be. I'm actually going to add a little strip of tape at this end just to make that more like a whole inch of tape as opposed to just a half an inch. It's a little bit less than I would like it to be. So this is what I'm going to do. First thing first is I'm going to measure here, make sure I've got the exact width here. Just cut that. I don't need this to be a big piece, so I'm going to cut this in half, and I'm actually going to save this piece for later because I will use it, trust me. The way that you seal this bags up on the edges is a lot of little pieces of tape. So I'm going to take this and place it right along the edge here, just catching that edge and giving myself more of a sticky edge here. Now we're going to put this little thin, tiny sticky edge along this side. For this, what I'm going to do is once again take my tape. I'm going to actually only start it, I'm not going to include that little sticky edge, I'm only going to start it at the edge. So it's going to go from edge to edge. So edge to edge. And I always find, you know, it's great to use your ruler if you want to use your ruler, and that's why I always list a ruler. But in this case, I always find that it's easiest if you're just going to measure to use the actual project. But in this case, what's nice here is to use your ruler so you get a nice clean cut line. So I'm going to line this up on the line here, and then I can cut this right along that half so that I end up with two 1-inch pieces, 1 inch wide. Right there. Now we're going to use the half on, half off technique again, but in this case we're just going to create a tiny, 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 tiny little edge. Now make sure that you are doing this so that the zipper part, the little zipper that you grab, the little end here that you grab, is face down. Excuse me, haha, did that wrong. Face up is what I meant to say. So we're going to go like this and lay this down. Just going to get that tiny little edge. So there's your tiny little edge. So now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So twirl it around here. Line it up. Get that tiny little edge. Okay, now we're going to go rollin', rollin', rollin'. So we start with our circle piece, place it right there along the edge, and we just start rolling. And get your second piece, and just start rolling. There we go. Now, this is a good time to add a little bit of strengthening agent. So what you're going to do is take some tiny strips of tape. These don't need to be big. But you want them to be about, well, half an inch thick. And I'm just going to give myself a little bit of extra strength along the way here, just to make sure that these stay in place where they are. Do the same thing over here. Okay, and we're going to keep on rolling, making sure that that's lining up with that sticky edge there. And now you see we're going to get that overlap. And this overlap is important because this is where we're going to seal off the bag. So see that? It just sealed itself. So there you go. Now you can leave it like this. You know, this is a little clutch. You know, you could use this as just a little clutch if you wanted to. But of course, I like putting straps on things. But there you have it. You could have it's a perfect little clutch to keep your pencils in and that sort of stuff. Now you're not done. Okay, this is the most time-consuming part, and I cannot stress how much and how important this next step is. We are going to put teeny tiny, itty bitty little pieces of tape all the way around the outside. Okay, I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to show you how to start and how to do it, but I'm not going to spend, because it takes about half an hour, and I'm not going to take your time to do that because I know you're anxious to get to the next step. So here's what I like to do though. I'd like to start with my zipper facing up, and I like to just basically start here and work myself all the way around. And I am doing little tiny strips all the way around. This is super, 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 super important. And your strips can be anywhere between 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch wide. Now, if you're making a bigger bag, then you can maybe get all the way up to the inch because your circle's going to be bigger. But when you're dealing with one of these tight, tiny little circles, you really, really, really want tight little pieces of tape like this. So as you can see, I'm literally working my way around the bag here, and I'm putting these little pieces of tape, and I'm actually overlapping them as I go along. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, isn't that overkill? Well, yeah, it might seem like overkill, but you really want your bag to stay together. You don't want it to pull apart. So you're going to go all the way around this one, flip it around, do the same thing all the way around on this side. And the reason I say start at the zipper is because then you actually have a physical, like, reference point, as opposed to starting in the middle and then not knowing if you got all the way around, especially if you're matching your color. Once you have done that, then what we're going to do is we're going to actually come back and put a strip of tape along here, and that's going to help to seal this edge. But before we do that, we're going to add the strap. Now, like I said, you can leave it as a little barrel bag if you want, but we're going to actually add a strap here. So I've got my great strap, and what I'm going to do is take a piece of tape, and this piece, about 2-inch piece. This piece, I'm going to line this up here. Make sure that you put it seam side down for your strap. This piece I'm going to place up and down. And that's just a 2-inch little piece. That's just kind of to get it into the position that I want. Now I'm going to come back with another piece of tape, and I'm going to go in the opposite direction, and I'm going to put this lower than the actual piece where it ended there. I'm going to put this lower to make sure it seals there. And now I'm going to come back and put another piece across the top here. This is going to be a little bit thinner. But this, again, is to just make sure that we're sealing this in nice and tight. I'm going to cut this. And then I'm going to take a tiny little piece and put it right here up against this. Take another tiny little piece. I'm really trying to make sure that this stays solidly in place. And I'm going to use little strips of tape to make sure that I do so. So I'm actually going to come at a diagonal here and come up from the bottom on a diagonal and then actually go up onto the top here. This is just going to give it a little bit more strength. And I know what you're thinking. This is a lot of overkill, Sophie, but it's going to make sure that that strap doesn't pull out. Now, for the last little bit of overkill, you ready? I know you're going to kill me, but I'm going to take this little piece of tape here, and I'm just going to put a piece here, and I'm going to put a piece here. And then I'm going to come back with a little strip of my fabulous pattern tape here, and wrap it around. To match it. There we go. So see, that's nice and secure there. Do the same thing on the other side. For right now, I'm just going to put a little piece of tape just so we have it placed in place. You know you're going to want to do exactly the same thing that I just did on one side. You're going to do it on the other side. But I want to get to this next part, which is adding a little strip of tape around here. Now, you could do this as an accent piece if you wanted to. In fact, let's do an accent piece because that'll be fun. So let's get our fabulous pattern. Now we know it's 12 inches around our circle, so we want to make sure that our ceiling piece here is at least 12 inches. I'm going to cut this right down the middle to make this 2 1-inch pieces. And I'm going to seal off this side. Now test it and make sure that it isn't too big, because I might need to cut it down a little bit further depending on how far you are from the edge here. But this looks like it's going to be about perfect. Now you stop rolling, please. Stay there. I need 2 pieces of tape, 2 rolls of tape to keep you in line there. Okay, so check this out. This has had all its tape placed around it, and now what we're going to do is do one last thing, which is to seal this whole thing off. I'm just going to lay this right over top and go all the way around my bag. So now I have not only a sturdy strap, but I have a sturdy side that's locked in, super tight, ready to go. Now, you are done, except for personalizing it and making it as fabulous as you want it to be. Because of course you're going to repeat this on the other side. Go crazy, embellish. As you can see, I cut some little shapes, I did some little lines. I mean, you can really have a lot of fun now. You could even put your initials on it, use duct tape stickers, do whatever you want. I love this little bag. It's like the perfect little bag to just put little things that you need to take with you, you know, your car keys or your library card or whatever it is that you need. It's a great little bag for school. I hope you like it. And if you do, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you share us with your friends because, you know, we have lots and lots of projects like this and other ones all about duct tape and, you know, things for your locker. If you're looking for something for school, make sure you check us out, www.sophie-world.com. And if you've got a suggestion for something that you'd like me to make, put it in the comments down below. I do try to get to everybody's. Sometimes it takes longer than you would like it to, but I do try to get to everybody's. For more ideas, check us out, sophie-world.com.